Greetings everybody, welcome back to another Apple video. And in this video, I'm unboxing, it's technically already, it was very hard to open, so I did it off camera, but pretty much unboxing an iPad Air 2 that I found for only $70 that I believe should be running iOS 8. It should be running iOS 8, according to the pictures. And I could not pass up on this deal when I saw it, so I immediately bought it off eBay. And when I saw it, and let's see what we have here. So my first space gray or black iPad Air, because iPad Air 2. I do have a space gray iPad Air 1, but first ever black iPad Air 2. So pretty good shape so far. There are some scratches. It's not in the best condition. There are some dust I gotta clean off. It's in pretty good shape, cosmetically. It's just a Wi-Fi only model. I believe it's only a 16 gig. But pretty cool. The back is in pretty good shape. And I'll talk about the iPad Air 2 in this video, because it is my favorite iPad ever made. So, and there are a lot of people that are still rocking these. Because I think my aunt used an iPad Air 2 for I just accidentally hit the home button, and it is iOS 8. Oh my god, we didn't even have to power it up. What are the odds, buddy? I pulled an iPad Air 2 on iOS 8 for only $70 plus shipping a little bit, but I still think that's a pretty good deal because a lot of these are way overpriced on eBay, brand new. And I already have an iPad Air 2 on iOS 8, but it's in white, and I wanted a black one so bad. So, and I got a gold one that's not iOS 8. I think it's iOS 14 or 15. I can't remember. I did a video on my channel on it last summer when I got it. And then I had another iPad Air 2 a long time ago in 2017 on iOS 10, and I believe I updated to iOS 11 beta, and I sold it back then when I was 15. So, but yeah, so really cool. iPad Air 2 is my favorite. My aunt used an iPad Air 2 for a long time until I think she got like the 7th gen or 8th gen, and then she's still using that. Kind of frustrated she got the 7th gen because a month later the 8th gen came out, and she would have gotten an A12 chip instead of an A10 chip, so, and it would be a little bit longer supported, but that's okay. But we do know we have iOS 8. I don't know what version, but I know it's pre 8.4 because I sort of read Music app in the listing. This is sweet. 8.1. Wow, what are the odds? I believe this is the first ever version you can get with this iPad, because I was projecting like 8.3. But I think my other iPad Air, a second gen on iOS 8, which I have right in here, my white and silver one, is I believe also 8.1. And then I know a few people have gotten recently on 8.1.2. So Air 2s on iOS 8 are surprisingly not that hard to find. And then there's another one on eBay. It's on 8.1. So I believe 8.1 is the earliest you can get on the iPad Air 2. So look at this. Look at this nice. I've always, for a long time, I've wanted an Air 2 in black on iOS 8. For whatever reason. But really cool. So, really cool. That nice, juicy red Music app, the old wallpaper. Because, pretty crazy story. Because obviously, so 2014, the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus come out, right? And then a month later, in October, Tim Cook has a press release announcing new iPads and new MacBooks. So the iPads announced were the iPad Air 2 and iPad Mini 3. And Mini 3 was like nothing new besides Touch ID. That was the only difference. And a gold color, and I believe NFC support. But the iPad Air 2 was a whole massive upgrade over the original iPad Air. It was even thinner, had an upgraded processor to the A8X chip versus the first iPad Air only had the A7, so not the A7X. So yeah, Touch ID finally, a nice gold color option, so everything. And it shipped with iOS 8.1 was the original iOS that it shipped with, so which I have right here. So this is so sweet. There we go. And yeah, never been updated. and now once. So, and pretty much I remember, um, so when this thing, well, I remember probably in November of 2014, walking in, going through the mall, going through the electronic stores, yeah, the carrier stores with my mother because I was getting a new phone or my first iPhone for Christmas that year. I was in sixth grade, right? I knew I wasn't getting the iPhone 6. I knew I was getting an iPhone 5, but I was stuck with an iPod Touch 4G at the time, and it was stuck on iOS 6. So when already live apps were losing support, it's like this application requires 7.0 or later. You must be updated in the latest iOS to download and use this application. So, and I just wanted a device with a bigger screen and everything. I did end up getting a 5S, which was nice. But when I played around with the iPhone 6s, the 6 Pluses, and the iPad Air 2, like, I just literally had a crush on the iPad Air 2 just because of how amazingly light and fast it was as a 12-year-old boy. And, so, and I wish my middle school at the time had iPad Airs or iPad Air 2s because they had iPad 2s and I believe mini first gens, which both had the A5 processor. Um, don't think there were any regular Airs or mini 2s or third or fourth gens, but like literally iPad second gens and iPad mini first gens. Um, and yeah, right. With like school, I'm a restricted software, but they were running the original, or no, they were running iOS 8. Yeah, right. And obviously they had the A5 chip, which was the first ever dual core chipset. But like iOS 8 murdered the iPad 2, the iPad 3 obviously as well because it also had the A5. Um, the iPad mini first gen, I think the iPhone 4S and the iPod Touch fifth generation. Um, so like literally when we used those iPads at school, definitely very slow. But when I would play around with an iPad Air or iPad Air 2, at like Best Buy or the Apple Store or like AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever, right? Super fast. I told them, gee, I wish my school had these because it's really fast and everything. As a 12 and 13-year-old, so which is crazy. Um, and so, and then I got it as my first iPad, I believe May of 2017. The gold one, I got it from GameStop back when GameStop still sold a premium refurbished devices. I think it was not cheap. It was around now. I think it's in the upper 200s. I think. I saved up money and got me one, so I was very happy. And I believe it came with iOS 9, and I updated it to iOS 10 because back then I updated all my devices. So it wasn't until July of 2017 I started. Well, no, I did have a few. I think I had an iPhone 4 on iOS 5 and a 3GS on iOS 4. But it wasn't really until summer of 2017, like July 2017, when I started searching for old, rare, iPhones. So, but, but really cool device. Everything should still work on it, and I get reset because I can't even pull up Siri on here. But really cool stuff. I'm very happy to have a nice space gray slash black iPad Air 2 on iOS 8. As this is my first ever black iPad Air 2, as I've said. So this thing is beautiful. I mean, so I believe it's just a 16 gig. So 16 gig 8.1, I did not expect it was going to be on this early of a version. I was thinking like 8.2 or 8.3. So, but really cool and another welcome addition to my collection. So, peace out, everybody.